Hey, what's up? Cecil Smith, back here with Bandana Running. Here looking at my first impressions of the Ghost 15, Brooks Ghost 15, just for clarity's sake, for completeness sake. And this is essentially a daily trainer, one that you're just going to log a bunch of miles in. Nothing really special about a Ghost. It's kind of the meat and potatoes shoe of the Brooks line. Is one that you're going to go out, just get a ton of miles in. Not particularly fast. If you're looking to do some speed training, could be good for long distance runs. But I mean, it's just a solid shoe. I got this shoe winter 2022, so it's still fairly new. My first impression of the shoe is it's a good shoe. I mean, I hate to say it, but there's really nothing special in running shoe. From a running shoe standpoint, it's kind of just a really good, well built running shoe. Now, that said, so I'll go through some positives first. One, upper, comfortable. I actually got the shoe and am kind of wearing it around too. I'm not like just running in the shoe. I've completed I think like 2 runs in the shoe, so not a ton. But when I do run in the shoe, it's solid. The only thing I will say about runs in the shoe, and I got it because Brooks are pretty solid, and it's winter, so their uppers are usually a little bit thicker, a little better for colder. I don't want to go with the GTX. I just wanted a shoe, and then if it warms up a little bit or for spring running, I figure I can pound out some miles in it before summer. So that was my thought process anyway. But when I went out in the shoe, and I think it had either just rained or it was still wet outside, and for me to test the traction in the shoe, I like to run over some exposed concrete, because that's like about the slickest surface you can hit that's still solid, and there's basically zero traction in the shoe. And the bad thing walking around in it, I did hit like a metal plate, just kind of walking into work one day, and just kind of slid across it like it was ice. And I don't know why, because I had the Brooks Ghost 12, and that shoe was one of the grippiest shoes that I've ran in. Like, especially out of the box, the first couple of runs, I mean, you could hit any surface, wet, dry, whatever, and it just seemed to stick and, really give you that comfortable sense of, well, I don't need to worry about the surface. Now, if you take it out in the dry, no worries, no problem. The shoe's fine. It's not slipping, sliding around. But if it's a little bit wet, I mean, you kind of got to watch where you're hitting to make sure that it's not a solid, smooth surface underneath, because this shoe will go flying. And I looked at the bottom just to get in a little of a comparison. This is the 12. I still have the 12 hanging around here. But like I said, Brooks is a solid shoe. So and I took the insole out here, but I can throw an insole in and probably still wear these around and not feel too bad. I did get some mileage on them, and when it started to wear out, it started to bother my knee a little bit. But these shoes, the outsole is very similar. Now, there's one, after looking at it kind of closely, there's one critical difference. These are all solid pieces here on the 15, where on the 12, they're kind of broken up and they're grooved. Now, this is wore out here because that's, I guess, where my foot strike is. But on this outside, they're kind of grooved. And, what I've noticed from shoes that I've had that I thought were really grippy, the more small areas you have on this outsole, the grippier the shoe is. And to me, the 12 had, a lot of these grooved in. I thought it had like a ridge of like a different rubber in it. But then when I looked at it again, it's like, no, it's, pretty much the same outsole, other than they changed that design a little bit. And this design is horrible. Like, I'll just be flat out. Like, I don't like it. I don't know why they changed it. I don't know what the purpose or what the engineering behind this said, that this was good or grippy. But this particular shoe is slick as all get out. And that's the only thing that worries me a little bit, if the terrain is not dry or conditions aren't ideal, that this shoe could be, it's not unstable from a running standpoint, but boy, if you hit a slick surface, it's gonna throw you for a loop, literally, potentially. So that's my only real gripe with the shoe. Other than that, like I said, it's meat and potatoes trainer. It's a 12 millimeter drop. So if you're not used to a high drop shoe, there's really not, from what I've read and from what I understand, if you're going from a low drop to a high drop, not that big of a deal, because it should actually keep your Achilles from flexing a whole lot, keep your calf from flexing a lot. So long runs, that's usually better for you. Some of the Nike marathon shoes I think are set up with 12 millimeter drops, but it's pretty kind of standard in a Brooks. They have a high drop. I don't have specs for the stack height. Nothing spectacular here for the stack height. But the 12 millimeter drop, and it's I think 9.8 ounces in a size 9. So it's a little lighter than what the 12 was when I ran in before. It feels light. It feels lighter. It's not as light as the Saucony. It's almost 2 ounces heavier than the Speed 2. But like I said, it's a trainer. This is something you just go out, pound miles in. You're not looking for speed runs or anything like that. It's just a solid, well-built shoe except for the outsole. Get rid of this. Brooks, get whatever you did here, undo this. I'm not sure what's going on, but it's concerning. And I don't like it. The other change, if you're looking for changes in the shoe, at least from the 12, because I have it, next to me, this outside Brooks logo part is kind of just plasticky, almost glued on. Where the other one, it's it's a little more solid, it's probably still glued on, but it looks like it's a separate piece here. Where this looks like it's almost just taped on or painted on. There's not much to it, and I don't know that there needs to be. And maybe in some of the other colorways it's a little more solid. Maybe it's just the black one, but I think they may have done that just to help trim down the weight, because on the 12 it seems like unnecessary weight. So if they're trying to lighten the shoe up, and like I said, I think it is lighter than the 12 was, but nothing to write home about. It's maybe a little less than 10 ounces in a size 9. Okay, great. It'll be good for training. The midsole, the cushioning, the foam here is a DNA Loft 2. So when I was trying them on, I tried on the 14 as well as the 15, and I didn't feel much difference. But I was like, well, it's got the DNA Loft 2, so I'll try that. And I don't know if it's better or not, to be honest with you. But I was like, I'll try it because it should be an improvement, because it's 2, right? So I guess we'll find out. We'll see how it holds up. I'm hopeful that if nothing else, I'll get a lot of miles in the shoes. Now, like I said, I am wearing the shoe just around, because Brooks are pretty comfortable shoe. But was that going to take away from the mileage that I get running in the shoe? Maybe a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't take too much away, and hopefully I can pound out some miles before the summer. So that's just my first impression of the shoe. We'll see how it goes. I'm going to continue to kind of rotate the Speed 2 if I get some good days where I can run and kind of go out and push the pace. Still, I'm having a little bit of knee issues. Definitely not caused by the Brooks, though. Don't know if we can bring it back. Just, running in the shoe, wearing the shoe. Maybe it takes some of that pain away from the knee, allows the knee to get better. Hopefully. But other than that, meat and potato shoe, nothing special. Tongue's not gusseted. Did see where somebody was complaining about that. It doesn't move. Brooks is, they know what they're doing when they're making an upper. And like I said, this one's not really made for racing. It's more for training. You've got a little thing here in the middle to kind of keep the tongue from going too far. It's not gonna slide on you. Most running shoes I haven't experienced that in. Now, one thing I did experience with these, when I put the runner knot in, I don't know if it's just shorter laces or what, or if I had thick socks, but they came untied. Even with the double knot, they came untied once. Maybe I just didn't have it, locked down tight enough, but maybe the laces are just a little short, a little too short. If you're going to put that extra runner loop in. All right, well, that's all I got. Might get some more miles in. I'll let you know how it goes. All right, see you. Take care.